32% of the users of DeepMeta software live in a country that doesn't have English as its native language. Over the years, we've had a lot of requests from these users to better support them in bringing their images and video and illustrations to iStock. We're now pleased to announce version 3.1 of DeepMeta software with a user interface that can dynamically switch between 8 different languages. To go along with this release, we have a brand new website available in the same 8 languages. I'm Frankie de Meyer for DeepMeta. Let's have a look. Let's first have a look at the new website. The old design dated from something like 10 years ago, and you'll find the new one to be fresh and responsive. What's important as well is if you access the new site from, let's say, your phone or from a tablet, from a desktop or from a laptop, you'll see that everything scales really well and remains usable, which was not always the case with the old website. Now, of course, the big new addition is language support. By default, the site will try to use the language of your operating system on condition that it's one of the 8 supported languages. You can always switch to a different language and dynamically the UI will adapt. Please realize that not everything has been translated yet. This is a major task and it will take some time to get everything translated, but we will get there. There's a number of major languages still not present, and we certainly intend to add those languages in the future. Now, if we head over to the download section, you'll see that it's simplified. There's just 2 buttons. There's a download for Windows, download for Mac. If you download for your operating system, what you get is a unified installer, which contains all the languages that are supported. So there's just one installation for Windows, there's just one installation for Mac. It's not like we used to have with the Japanese version, where we had a separate installer for English and for Japanese. This would really become unwieldy if you think of 2 different operating systems and 8 supported languages for the moment. That would result in 16 different installers to manage. It's always a good idea to have a look at the latest changes to see what bugs have been fixed or what new features have been added. If there was some time between updates, you can always view the previous updates as well. So that's a good way to keep up with new features of the software. That's about it for the website. Let's now have a look at the software itself. We'll do the demo for the software in Windows, but the Mac version is pretty much the same. Let's open the Preferences window, and we see the language section, which has always been there. We have the keyword language selector. This remains unchanged. As far as the DeepMeta language is concerned, this is a drop-down that only ever contained one language. It was just English if you downloaded the English version, or it was Japanese if you installed Japanese version. Now you have the 8 supported languages. Let's go for Turkish. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank user Yasin Emir Akbas for doing the entire Turkish translation for us. That was really a great help. You see that the user interface automatically switches to Turkish. Let's add a new badge. You see that the default name was also selected in Turkish. Let's add a few files here. We open up one. And what's important to remember is that iStock does still demand to have the title and description in English. So it's not like you can just start using your own language for everything. This is still the case. The keywording language is completely separate. So whatever language you use here for the keywording depends on the selection that you did for the keyword language. So this is completely separate. Now you might wonder, why isn't there a language selection for the keywords like there used to be in DeepMeta version 2? We've decided to make it a little bit hard to change the keywording language, because let's say that I would now switch from English keywording to a different language, and I would do this for the same file. This would really confuse the ESP server. So it's really a good idea. Let's go back to the preferences window. It's really a good idea to just select your keywording language once and to keep it set to that language as much as possible. This is going to give you the least possible issues with the ESP upload process. As far as the UI language is concerned, you can just switch it as often as you like. It doesn't really have any impact on uploading or whatever communication is happening to the ESP servers. Let's add this one to the upload queue and start uploading. The translation of the software is relatively complete. I would say it's more complete than translation of the website, but you will find some English phrases peeking through here and there. If you see a translation that's not quite right, or if you'd like to help out in general with translating, don't hesitate to contact us. We can always use help for different languages or for correcting and completing the existing languages. This would be greatly welcomed. All right, so this was the upload in a different language. By default, when you start DeepMeta the first time, version 3.1 the first time, it will set itself to the operating system language that you have chosen, if it's, of course, one of the 8 supported languages. But it doesn't, you know, even if it's your language, you might still prefer to continue working in English. That's no problem. Just go to the preferences setting, select English, and from then on, this setting is maintained. From then on, you will just start DeepMeta in English again. That's entirely up to you. That's it. Hopefully the new version of DeepMeta with multi-language capabilities and a new website will assist you a little better in your upload process to iStock and in managing your portfolio as a whole. If you found this video useful, please go ahead and like it. You can subscribe to this channel if you'd like to be notified of new videos being posted. And of course, all feedback is welcome as usual. Thank you.